There exists a dogged determination to preserve the city of Bath as it is, but it will either be going into a future where we avert catastrophic climate change or a future where we don't. This is a visual discourse inviting us all to envision how we want to live in the city in the future, whilst challenging the priorities assigned to visual appearance in making decisions about development in our city. Here we are in the heart of Bath, car-dominated, full of clutter, a lack of trees and planting and a sea of hard surfaces. Even though this is a double-designated UNESCO World Heritage Site and Spa Town of Europe, there's no water celebrated in the public realm beyond the river and canal, and no particular care taken over the quality of the public spaces. Declarations of a climate and ecological emergency have been made by the Council, who have chosen to prioritise 1. Energy efficiency improvements of existing buildings and zero carbon new build, 2. A major shift to mass transport, walking and cycling, and 3. A rapid and large-scale increase in local renewable energy generation in a bid to reach carbon neutrality by 2030. But what would this look like? With just over 8 years left, there remains a reliance on cars and fossil fuels and a reticence towards shifting to affordable mass transport and safe walking and cycling at a citywide scale. A desire to preserve the beauty of the countryside as it is right now means there is a barrier to large-scale renewables such as wind and solar farms. There are no mechanisms to deliver wide-scale retrofit for energy efficiency measures, particularly in traditional buildings. There are no clear requirements for zero carbon new builds yet, and no ban on demolitions to preserve the embodied carbon within existing buildings. Tree planting and greening in urban areas fails to provide the shelter and shade to people, wildlife and buildings that extreme weather events and increased temperatures will require. If we carry on as we are, urban spaces will become too hot to occupy, our soft limestone buildings will be vulnerable to accelerated erosion, and the vaults beneath, together with low-lying areas prone to flooding. Imagine if we really did act now to prevent this eventuality. What might the city look like? How will it feel? Imagine public spaces that are cooled and calmed with green walls and roofs that also insulate their host buildings. This is a vision of how lush the city would look if it embraced green walls on facades throughout the city. Imagine more trees providing shelter and shade where it's needed, more places for biodiversity and for humans to thrive and play. With mature trees added to all of the main public spaces and street trees added in all the major thoroughfares, this visualization shows how the city would appear to simply nestle deeper into its landscape setting. Would this harm its heritage status? Abbey Courtyard would become able to overcome some of the heat island effect that renders it unable to be occupied on the hottest days of summer already. Saw Close would benefit from much needed shade and a beautiful, natural focal point to direct movement around rather than the current use of curbs and painted lines. Large-scale renewables such as wind farms and solar installations could complement the landscape, reminding us of the resources the planet offers us so freely and provide us with energy security. The animations show that these interventions would be barely discernible, and they are all reversible, able to be replaced as technologies no doubt develop over the centuries. Just like the ephemera of structures put up to accommodate fossil fuels like pylons. Solar photovoltaic panels could be placed on every south-facing roof in the city to further boost clean energy production and help alleviate fuel poverty. There would be uniformity in appearance in mass citywide installations, and it is easy to see that some roofs could actually appear less intrusive than they do now with the additional articulation panels provide. The rollout of neighbourhood-scale retrofit of both renewables and insulation would reduce the costs for everyone, together with practical measures to draft-proof and naturally ventilate homes. The benefits of building zero-carbon homes and the use of natural, recycled and recyclable materials should be celebrated and shared. Imagine if house prices were influenced by the reduced running costs and planetary impact of such homes. Wholesale movement to mass and active transport, investing in rail travel, walking and cycling means less need for car-dominated roads and parking. Old-fashioned trams to navigate the steep hills could complement this vision together with electric vehicles. Promoting a cultural shift to less waste by recycling and reusing everything would lead to a fairer, less consumerist, and ultimately less polluting society. Opportunities for a green economy encompassing lifestyles, deliveries, construction and food could revive our high streets and provide business opportunities for everybody to prosper, all with the common cause of protecting life on Earth. Opening up the land around the city to be used more efficiently as our breadbasket, growing food in abundance instead of grazing food for the minority, will provide more immediate access to fresh, organic produce, create more diverse local jobs, and sustain countryside livelihoods. Is the change to the appearance of the landscape harmed by this function? This city is special because it's been here in this form for 2 centuries, and it could be here for many centuries more. It is important for the public and decision makers to envision the aspirations to address climate change in clear, accessible images, so that the fear of change is dispelled and a more informed dialogue can ensue. These visualizations demonstrate how architects have it in their gift to share visions of a better future with clients and stakeholders for all developments. While the usual culprits like air travel and large-scale industry need to be addressed at a governmental level, here in Bath I've seen a more insidious problem. Proposals for large development schemes barely meet measly sustainability standards, let alone the zero carbon we as professionals know every scheme needs to achieve, however small. Architects must ensure the drawings they put their names to do no further harm to the planet, to ensure that we design out fossil fuels and design in nature. Planning departments have a responsibility to write policy visions of the future that include visions of planetary health for all species. Preservation of our city should be indivisible from preservation of life on Earth. Indeed, these simple visualizations demonstrate that the city may become far more beautiful and holistically profitable to both society and the economy if we embraced what our planet is urging us to do at speed with already existing solutions. Please note, this film was made in 2021. By 2025, some progress has been made. Laura Place Fountain, that you can see in the picture, has been restored and has water flowing from it once again. A zero carbon new build policy has been introduced by the council, which is very welcome, and the district now has its first solar farms. There's still a way to go, but we're moving in the right direction. Thank you for watching.